All right. Here we go. What's happening, everyone? The Shark Tank Effect is in the house. We got an awesome show today. We've been really covering a lot of good stuff, a lot of things that people don't know about Shark Tank. They think they know about Shark Tank, or if you want to get on to the tank or get into the tank, you're going to want to tune into this show. Let me bring on the king of manufacturing, the man himself, Mr. Christopher Guerrero. What's up, Chris?
Oh my, we're hitting some new records, man. We got some downloads going on. Week by week, it's going up. It went from like 100,000 downloads to now 150,000 downloads.
Yeah. Everybody wants to hear what I have to say.
It's because of me.
No. What are you talking about? Oh, you're on the show too. That's right. I do the editing. You don't even listen to me. You don't realize that I edit you out.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I have to edit you in the beginning because you're always still yapping about the pre-show stuff, and you start the recording, so I have to cut you out in the beginning.
We should record the pre-show stuff. It's some funny stuff. Like even like our guests on today, we just had some great conversations. It was pretty funny stuff.
Especially with a product name like FunkkOFF. You know, I'm Italian, so you know what we normally say.
No.
We leave off a little bit of that N and add a C. Although this has a double K.
Hey, tell me a little bit about Super Zoo. I keep hearing about this. What's happening, man?
Yeah, so Super Zoo, right? We're going to do pitch panels, live pitch panels, the 16th of August and the 17th at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. So if you don't have a booth, which by now you should have one because they're all sold out, the entire show is sold out. I think there's 180 companies on the waiting list. But the good news is, if you have a pet product and you want to pitch to the pros, our program, on the 16th and or the 17th, there'll actually be 2 Shark Tank panels. Then you can also do that. If you go to the UIA websites and or social media pages like LinkedIn, Facebook, you'll see the link to sign up. Click the link. It'll give you the outline. You submit your product. It'll get reviewed in a couple of days, and you'll get a notice if you made it or not.
Yeah.
And that's it. We're going to pick about 100 up to 110 products to pitch. So It should be fun. And I don't want to forget the beach party.
Oh, no.
Night of the 17th, there is an amazing beach party. It's like nothing you've ever seen.
This party better be good.
Great
you keep
music,
telling everybody.
Pool, beaches, adult beverages, food, and good company.
Awesome.
And I will be there dancing.
People are going to pay just to come and see that.
All right. So on that note, we're going to introduce our guests, Joelle and Sonia from FunkkOFF. Not off, but FunkkOFF. How you guys doing?
So good, Chris.
Good,
How are you?
very
I want to
good.
go to that. I want to go to that beach party now. Can we just jump into that beach party? I think I need to see you dancing.
I tell you what, last year we did a lot of dancing. I'm telling you, my suit on the Disney red carpet and my dancing had about an equal amount of attention. Just saying, I'm from Connecticut. Connecticut boys can dance.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that, but I'll take your word for it.
I got some brother in me. That's what I always said. I grew up in Waterbury.
Not like Elaine dancing.
Oh my gosh. Funny. Well, if we're gonna bring back sitcoms, Sonny and I we grew up together and met in 7th grade. I don't know if everybody knows that we went to an all-girl high school in Maryland, and got into business together in 2019, and we refer to ourselves as Laverne and Shirley, a little dancing and bopping up and down. And I think we found our Lenny and Squiggy, Sonia. I think we found
Now you have it. We've got a new podcast after this.
I think we have Halloween costumes for the rest of our lives together, the 4 of us. We can go to dance parties, we can go to LA, and all that good stuff. Right,
There
Sonia?
you go.
I love it.
Now you got to
I
come.
want to start. I want to know who you guys are. I want to know who you are, how you guys met, and then how you came up with FunkkOFF and how you came up with the name. Love the name.
Sonia, where did we
All
start?
right.
Why don't you predate us for when we met 5 years ago in 7th grade?
Yeah,
I thought it was
exactly.
4.
We met in 7th grade on the playground. Actually, we recently went back a couple weeks ago to speak at a Shark Tank event at our high school, where we went to high school, an all-girls high school. They do a Shark Tank week where the students write business plans, and they asked us very graciously, and we were honored to speak to the junior class about business plans, pitching, and it was really fun down in Maryland, Potomac, Maryland, where we grew up. And we had a lot of fun, Joelle and I, at that high school. We played a lot of sports together. We had some championship games, and we were the co-editors of our newspaper, which was really fun. I have a copy of a few of them from back in the day when they actually printed newspapers. And we played a duet. So Joelle and I have quite a history. We went our separate ways in college and both pursued business degrees in different regards. I went into brand marketing and worked for consumer packaged goods companies for many years and worked on new product development and innovation from the marketing side. Worked with a lot of manufacturers, and I know you guys are the king. Well, Chris is the king of manufacturing.
I'll confuse that now. There's only one king.
Sorry, there's only one king. Wish I had known you when I was working at Dentine or Trident or Coppertone, because we always had manufacturing challenges. But I was always on the marketing side and loved what I was doing, and ended up teaming up with Joelle in 2019, excuse me, for the introduction and launch of our new product and our own CPG company. Joelle is the inventor behind the product that we launched, our signature product. So I'll turn it over to her to talk about her background and the product.
Hey, does that mean that Joelle drinks more wine than you? Yeah. Oh, he got quiet.
No
Yes.
comment. No comment.
So we did go our separate ways. I'm just a serial entrepreneur. I'm a storybook, started working at 14 and a half, paid my way through University of Delaware, Go Blue Hens, got my economics degree there, was hired as a stockbroker at age 22 and in the 90s, and did that for a decade, which was like super fun. Watched all these .coms make all this money. So I started a fintech and sold it, just always finding solutions to problems. So I moved from the DC area. I moved with my family to Northern California in 2009, just to get a little California love in us and away from an area I lived in for a long time and lived near the wineries. And so, yes, Chris, I drank a lot of wine, still do. I'm an equal opportunity drinker. So there's other in my palate of drinks, but red wine I do love. And so I was within 45 minutes of driving to Napa and Sonoma. So every weekend it was our playground. We would go from winery to winery. My teeth would turn a funky shade of purple. And I say, I've got that funk on my teeth. And I would literally go to the bathroom in between wineries, and my purple teeth, I would go and brush it with my toothbrush and toothpaste in my cute little purse. It would get all messy and cumbersome all over the place. And I do usually have it. Yeah, I do. I put my lipstick on, and one time I just pulled out my lipstick. I'm like, well, why isn't there something that's like all in one, reusable, convenient, quick on the go to refresh my teeth? So you asked about the name, and this was 2010. And I just I went home, I definitely slept off some of that wine. But I wanted the purple FunkkOFF of my teeth and something to refresh my teeth, like lipstick refreshes your lips, gum and mint refresh your breath. Now this refreshes your teeth refreshers. So I went home, I have it here as well. It's the original prototype, upside down, but it's the round spinning toothbrush head from my electric toothbrush stuck on a chapstick container, and just started working with designers. So over the next 8 years, filed the first 8 patents on the utility and design of the product, and then also FunkkOFF teeth refreshers, and then the sweet smile behind me is the O that's in FunkkOFF yin yang, and that's a design trademark. And to date, FunkkOFF has 11 patents, actually 10 US and 1 China PCT, and 3 trademarks, and blah, blah, blah. So that's where it was, but I did not know how to launch a consumer product. And Sonia, of course, and I have been best friends for now 5 years. Is that right, Sonia? 4.5, 5 years since 7th grade. And of course, she is very shy, but she's actually an award-winning brand marketer. So very smart girl, may or may not have cheated off of her in high school, but and so we worked together, and I got my designs as far as I could, prototyping along the way. But we worked together in 2019, formed FunkkOFF Incorporated, and finalized the designs to get a workable FunkkOFF teeth refreshers that you see launched here today in 2021. And we worked through the workability, the look, the feel. We formulated the gel inside. It's 100% natural and vegan. You can swallow it on the go. And I'm going to stop talking because I'll talk forever. Sonia, do you want to demonstrate how she works? Do you have her near?
Sure. Yeah. So, and I know this is a podcast, so
You'll have
I'll
both. You'll
try to
have an audio
demonstrate.
on
So
Thursdays and a video will be on Tuesdays. So you'll have a video.
awesome. Oh, good. Okay. So everybody can see how pretty it is too. It's a beautiful color that Joelle and I spent a lot of time deciding on. It looks close to the Tiffany blue, but it is not Tiffany blue. But it's a very smart design. Joelle was very brilliant in how she came up with the idea behind this. And there's some really great features that we launched with, which I'm going to talk about. So you take the cap off, you twist the bottom, and our 100% natural tooth gel comes up through the middle onto the bristles. The bristles are nice and soft, so that it's really comfortable to use on the go. And the gel inside is just batted gel. It's not a paste, and it is all natural, so that you can swallow it. You don't have to spit it out. It is good to rinse the bristles when you're done brushing periodically. And there are aeration holes in the cap so that the bristles don't get funky. And one of the favorite parts that people love, which some people miss sometimes, is the mirror on the bottom where you can check your teeth when you're on the go, because that's always important, because usually there's something stuck in there that you're trying to get out, and you can make sure you get it out. Or the red wine stains that Joelle mentioned, that was the inspiration. They have that purple haze. You don't want that on your teeth anymore. So it's a great little product. Comes in blue, white, and black now.
So do those colors represent a flavor?
Right now?
No, it's all the same flavor. It's the same all natural peppermint tooth gel.
Very cool.
Beautiful. Yes. And actually part of the, I'd love to add on too, we are certified women owned, just so you know, which is, it's like doing your taxes 10 times over to get that certification. We're very proud of it. And the part of the design and the patent as well is we wanted to make sure you gentlemen could fit it in your average 36 jean pocket. So the length of it was actually designed and thought of as well to be able to fit in a man's jean pocket. So you're in there, but the flavor right now is the same. We have lots of versions and iterations coming behind our flagship product, but it's a beautiful natural vanilla mint, and not overpowering, like you just, swished mouthwash all over your mouth on a date somewhere. So yeah.
Really?
I'm liking that mirror. That's a really cool idea. I really like that. All right, so let's talk about it. So now you had this idea, right? You came up with this pretty cool product. Let's talk about how you got it into the market. Obviously, you had to do a lot of prototypes, right? Yeah, I'm sure you had some bumps along the way. Let's talk about that before you actually got a chance.
Entrepreneurship, Chris. There's no bumps
to get into Shark Tank, because everyone thinks, you got on Shark Tank, you got right in, and you made $1 million, and everything's good now, right? Not quite.
All I do is podcast all day. We just sit back and just talk to people, and, forget the 5 computer screens you have going on and emails.
I just saw you flex some biceps, so I know you're working out at some point.
Well, it's the wine. It's the wine.
All right, so let's talk about those bumps. Let's talk about how long it took and all the different iterations. And I'm sure you had packaging, the colors. All these are well thought out schemes. The mirror, crystals, the little air pockets. I mean, it sounds great the way you demonstrated it, but there's a story leading up to that.
I mean, this is, it went from that to this with a lot of in between, and Sonia and I made sure that this came out and this didn't come out, and worked through really every design. But at the end of the day, when you bring a product to market, Sonia and I wanted to have something that we would be proud of. It's vegan, it's natural, something that we would want to use. We know that this is going to roll around in our purses, so we wanted to make sure that the bristles don't get funky and moldy and gross, but it's protected. So the cap is a little hard to get off, so it just doesn't come off on its own. I don't know how many prototypes. I have buckets in my garage of things, and Sonia and I we have so many prototypes all over the place. We worked through, I think we're on our 4th designer now. 4th designer on this next manufacturing run. So you kind of like, it's almost like a relationship. You date a designer, they don't deliver what they're supposed to deliver, and then you have to, kind of move on. And it's a long process, as going through the molds and going through the decisions, getting your T1 samples and trying it out, and then this doesn't work. So, it took 2 years. But then we had a Kickstarter, right, Chris? We did a Kickstarter, and we were going to deliver product March of 2020.
Of course.
Of course. So, Sonia, that was a fun experience, wasn't it? taking everybody's money in for pre-sales and then like, trying to
Shutting
deliver
the world down.
Well, it's funny, we launched
Yeah.
in February. I got an order for Walmart, 15,000 units. It gave me
Wow.
2 weeks to do it. We did it. And then COVID hit. So and they wanted me to keep making the product. I said, no, I'm not making 15 grand. Nobody's shopping. Like 15,000 units a week. It's like big cash. There's no way.
We had people putting masks over their face for 2 years.
Yeah,
And
right.
covering their teeth. But
Yeah.
go for it.
It's amazing.
It was
Yeah, no,
fun.
that was really disappointing, the timing of that, because we had worked really hard for 2 years, and we had worked through. Actually, this is actually the first tooled prototype, and you guys as manufacturers know that you go into tooling and you invest a lot of money into tooling, and once we did it, we were disappointed the first time around that there were a bunch of issues, and it took a while to get to the final one, and to then have that be in March of 2020. We're like, oh, we're finally here, and then wah wah. And but it was okay. I mean, as far as challenges go, at least we weren't sitting on inventory. We were just basically in pause mode, which wasn't great, but we did take advantage of the time, because one of our partners that we work with, the partner who helps us create the tooth gel, they were open on and off during COVID. And so when their lab was open, we were working with them to create new flavors and new versions, including toothpaste. So that's where and if you go to our website, it's not available yet, but we do have those ready to go, and we hope to launch those soon. 3 toothpaste versions that we actually developed during COVID when we were sort of in our downtime. So we took advantage of it, and that's what you do, I think, as an entrepreneur. You pivot, and we often use. Neither one of us is into boxing, but we have a couple of boxing metaphors, and one of them is that you're constantly like bobbing and weaving and trying to like avoid disaster and find opportunity, and that's kind of what we do. We did during COVID, and we just keep doing every day.
As we always like to say, you have to make a plan. And you always have a plan. A plan is great until you get punched in the face. And I mean, we've gotten punched in the face, in the back, and the side, but you just get back up. I mean, we really do. But it's also, it's the story of an entrepreneur. We're constantly doing this, but sometimes there's a pivot left, right, and different opportunities. And Shark Tank has certainly brought, some amazing opportunities that we never would have been able to probably tap into our by ourselves until like 2 or 3 years down the road.
So were you
International.
both working at jobs as well, or just doing this full time?
I've been a full-time unemployed employee of FunkkOFF since 2010.
Yeah. So I know that, we know that drill.
I was working up until 2019, doing some consulting work, and working for a VC, and it was during that time where we were starting to really ramp up, and it was getting really busy with figuring out how to manufacture this thing, and it quickly became clear that it required a lot of time. And so I did stop working full time and join Joelle full time, and it's more than a full time job, as you guys know. It's like 24/7, especially when Shark Tank airs.
Oh yeah. So how do you feel like you're now investing, I'm sure, a lot of your own money as well, right? I try to explain that to entrepreneurs. Like, you're in it, you're in it. There's like, you're not half in it. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. And if you're going to do it, I mean, I'm not a person that likes to ask people for anything. That's just who I am. I never ask for money. I always I worked my butt off to get where I am. So I was even putting my money in other people's product, right? As part of a partnership. That's a big risk, and it's a scary moment because you may never see it again. My wife always says you're crazy, but I always have a vision, right? Like you said, I have a vision, and it's never going to be a perfectly straight line. And if anybody thinks it is, they're misled. It's bumps, there's bumps, and there's days where you say, why do I do this? And then there's those days where you say, wow, this is why I do it, right? So I'm sure you had quite a few of those moments.
100%. Absolutely. I mean, before our call, like we see sales come in. And so it's, and then you get emails from people. We were talking that, bedazzled our product, or, like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed for Invisalign or my braces. And, my child loves it. He can actually, brush his teeth and get it brushed before going to school, and just all it's the positive feedback and connections that make it, when I know it's not rocket science, and it's a toothbrush and toothpaste all in one, but Colgate and Crest didn't figure it out. When somebody really enjoys something that we know we put so much time in finally launching into the marketplace, and they take their time to write a review or send you an email about it. And that really, it's a cheesy thing, but that is the most rewarding part of this, and giving back. Yeah.
Absolutely. So when did you decide, we got a pretty cool product, it's unique, it's different, it's not in the market? When did you decide, let's go on Shark Tank, let's try to get on Shark Tank? How did that happen?
Oh boy. Well, I'll be quick with my little story. I applied twice before. I'm like the obsessor of Shark Tank. I think it's the most amazing platform, and levels the playing field for people that are individuals like us, or smaller companies without resources, to be able to highlight what they're doing against the big CPG guys. Like, this is what I've created and done, and really given them a little bit of a leveling playing platform. But I applied season 4, because we're season 14 now, episode 14. Great memory of a number.
Yeah.
But I applied season 4 with just like prototypes by email, setting in videotapes. I think I actually sent LA a bottle of wine with I don't know what I didn't hear back, and then went to an open casting call in San Diego. This is my little souvenir of one of 800 people that did an open casting call with my daughter's season 10. And then, nothing. And then they actually reached out to us and found us through social media push and all the great things that we're doing with our patents and women owned and unique product, and asked us to apply. So we did.
What did that feel like though? So you went twice, right? And you got basically denied or rejected, call whatever you want.
I think they didn't see me enough.
That's what I'm saying. So I hear you. And sometimes it takes a different angle to show what the problem is and how do you solve it, right? So but you went for some years, right? There was some years tied up in this and keeping it going forward. You kept doing social media.
I didn't have this, what you see here right now. They were prototypes and they were ideas, but it also that shapes you to what does, I guess, keeps you going. But it certainly was not with what we came to Shark Tank with.
So what do you think made Shark Tank view it differently? Did they finally get it? Did they finally see the finished product?
Sonia, I talk a lot, so I'll let Sonia answer that.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I think the thing that happened in late 2021, early 2022 is they were seeing us in the marketplace. We were advertising. We had a product that we were selling. We had branding. We had a whole brand and business going. We had an e-commerce business. We were on Amazon. And so they actually saw what we were doing. I think they saw our story. Joelle and I, friends from 7th grade, got together to bring this product to market, very complementary backgrounds. And I think the whole package interested them. And so when they reached out to us, I was very surprised. I'm not an avid Shark Tank watcher and fan like Joelle is. To be honest, I think I had watched 1 or 2 episodes of Shark Tank before they called us. Obviously, as soon as they called us, I was binge watching it. But when they called, I was very surprised, and I was actually skeptical because I wasn't sure. I had heard a lot of things through the years, some things that have changed, because I think back in the day, their contracts were even more stringent. They're still stringent, but they were even more stringent, in the original episodes. So some things scared me. But we went through the process. They were very nice, actually. They were extremely nice. It wasn't scary at all. So all that went away. We went through the process, and they really help you go through the process. It is extremely difficult, but they're really good about helping you get through that process. And so you really do feel prepared when you get on that stage. Because a lot of people, now that they've seen us on it, say, oh my God, you must have been so nervous. And yes, you are nervous, but at the same time, you're ready because they get you ready. At least that's how I felt. So it was a very cool process, a very cool experience, and it definitely surpassed my expectations.
What did it feel like going out with your best friend?
Actually, you know what? We have to be backstage for quite some time before you go on stage, and you are in like a little trailer situation, and sometimes you're waiting for a long time. And we befriended a few people on the hall in our trailer, and I remember thinking to myself, I am so glad I am here with Joelle, because it would be so much more terrifying to be doing this alone. So I was very grateful, and we had a lot of fun doing it. A lot of fun.
We have a lot of fun in general. I mean, it's and just in entrepreneurship and you know, in business, I don't know how you have to have a partner. I think that we come together, and then like this third head pops up, and I come from my background, which is, you know, hitting the pavement, and she comes from, like, you know, her background from the corporate world, really. I mean, they're kind of two different levels of selling, you know, and we come in the middle, and then this thing explodes, and and we come up with great new ideas that neither one of us thought about, but we build off of each other. But just walking into Shark Tank with Sonia is like, it was so awesome. We did a little, like, we didn't realize there was a camera. So the first set of doors that come in, there's a camera above you. And we didn't realize until after we did it, but we did a little schmazel, like, and we're walking in, we kind of, I think rules are great. I definitely am the bender of them, and Sonia's more of like, let's keep that rule back in place, and somewhere in the middle works. But I think we were the only ones on Shark Tank to ever in 14 years walk in with alcohol in hand. So I was actually really nervous to spill my glass of red wine as I was walking down there. But that didn't happen, which was good. And so, yeah, no, it was super fun. I mean, it was, you know, you guys have been, you get it. It was super fun and then halfway through you realize, oh shit, this is real. Like, you have fun, and then you see all the cameras, and you kind of see, like, you know, deer in the headlights stuff. And then, you know, after the show, Sonny's like, I don't know what I said. What did you say? I'm like, I have no idea. What did you get?
Isn't that funny? Like, it really is surreal. It's like, you've been watching, at least for me, I've been watching these guys for like 10 years, and now I'm looking at them face to face. And you're right. I don't remember, like, what did I say? Like, how long were we in there? And when I watched them, I mean, I saw the edited version. Carmine was with us. We had a huge viewing party, and I watched it for the first time, like anybody else.
Yep.
And I can remember my youngest at the time, Tyler, who was pretty aggressive and competitive. Right? He's like, "How the hell did you just pull that off?" He goes, "I think I would have just passed out." And they have no idea, right, what it's really like getting prepared. And we did it during COVID, so it's even worse, right? 10 days in the room, you don't pitch till the 11th day, can't talk to anybody, couldn't even go in the hallway, like literally locked in a room. In Vegas at the Venetian for 10 days by myself in a room. Yeah. On the 5th day, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Do I really want to continue doing this? That's what it felt like. And we talked to Nick Lamb, who does the ice beanie. And Carmine's like, wow, he had the same exact experience that I did. At least the way I felt, he was telling us in our podcast how he felt. And it was identical. Like, you know, by the 5th day, you're like, you have no one to talk to. You're talking to people on the phone. Yeah. Like, you're stuck in a room.
That must have been, I mean, just add COVID on top of the shark, I can't imagine.
Right, that's what I mean. So, okay, so you get through that, which is pretty cool that you have your best friend with you. After you get out, then what happens? You guys are probably looking at each other like, what just happened?
It was pretty dramatic. I mean, right, we had all 5 sharks, you know, say no, right? So our backs were turned, and we were at that now first set of doors on the way out, and Robert pulled us back in, attributing his lovely wife Kim that she would basically kill him if he didn't invest in a good product. So, and as you know, you saw in the show, we got to deal with Robert, which we're so ecstatic about. He's an amazing shark. But what we didn't see when you're talking about editing, and Sonny and I, so Sonny's in New York and I'm in California, so I'm like 3 hours behind watching it finally come to air. And what Sonia and I didn't know was what they said about us after we walked out of the tank, which Sonia, please, I always take over the time. So, which was so wonderful to hear. And Mark Cuban, you know, he punched us a little bit that day. His marketing plans were a little off on what we thought we wanted to even consider, but he was very adamant about it. But, you know, it's a testament, Sonia, that we had all 5 sharks, all 5. After we left the tank, say what a great product this is, what a great product this is, right, Sonia? I mean, that's
and Yeah, they all said they loved it. And I think what Robert said at the very end was just, I remember when I heard that, when I was watching it in my house, you know, on February 17th, I think I started crying, because he said, which is exactly what an entrepreneur wants to hear: why do you invest? You invest because it's a great entrepreneur and a great product. And that's what we were, and that's why he invested. And that just, I mean, I literally did start crying. I think there was a lot of emotion from the whole thing that came up with the tears, but it was very validating, very validating.
All right, so now you get through all that, then now you gotta start shipping, right? You're getting some orders. How did that turn out? How'd that go?
Well, we sold out in 12 minutes, so that happened. And just we'll leave our manufacturing alone, but we just don't order it and it arrives the next day ready to sell. We have a pretty good window. Sonny and I always say, and it's true, it's very simple to use this product. We made it that way, but it's very complicated to make it, which is why it's never been made before. And we have 11 patents on it. So we have a bit of a lead time. And so we knew we were going to sell out, just given the short, I assume I can share anything on here. I didn't know, as much of an avid Shark Tank watcher that I am, that they only give you 3 weeks notice of airing, which is really hard to prepare for inventory. And they don't guarantee that you're going to air, right? So we either load up on inventory and don't air, or the other way around. So we knew we'd sell out, and Sonny and I put our heads together and really worked on, what do we do next? We want to capture clients, customers, people that are interested. So we went into pre-sale mode, pre-order mode, which was, you know, the sales that came in are 30 times, you know, the amount of one sale that sold out when we had inventory. We really gained an enormous, beautiful FunkkOFF family during that time, and even continued to get more from Sunday night's re-airing. So, and it is a FunkkOFF, it's a family. I mean, but I don't know. Sonny, what do you want to add to that? Because I ramble.
Yeah, I mean, it was really wonderful to see all of the pre-orders that we got. So once we sold out, we were taking in pre-orders, and we took pre-orders for 3 months. So people continued to be interested in the product. And then my favorite part is, with all the additional sales, we were getting so many more reviews than we had ever gotten, and just great reviews. And it's one of my favorite parts of the day. First thing I do in the morning is look at the reviews that have come in, and I love hearing what people say. You know, like yesterday, I'm a surgeon and I work in surgery, and I don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of breaks. So I love having this with me in my pocket while I'm at the hospital. Just all sorts of usage occasions that we had never thought of. And it's very heartwarming and motivating. It's really motivating. And that's why I do it at the beginning of the day, because I'm like, okay, this is going to, you know, power me through the rest of my day, to know that people are out there loving our product.
Isn't that ironic that you can change the course of what you developed that for, and you hear different feedback and different uses, that even as the inventor, right, and even the marketing expert, that you didn't really take into consideration. That's what I find, that it starts, some of the stuff starts branching out. This is where you start adding on new product lines and new segments off of the business, and it becomes pretty incredible. How did you keep somebody on the hook for 3 months? Because I was fortunate enough, we had a made in the USA product, sold out of Amazon in, like, I don't know, what was it, Carmine, 50 minutes, and then and I had, I don't know, 3,500 units in inventory. Sold those out like in a day. Those were for Menard. Said, sorry, Menard, you're not getting your inventory. But I was able to put a tool back in. I had enough inventory to rerun and keep going. I didn't miss a beat. Where someone like Judy Edwards of Squatty Potty, she had like stuff overseas. It took months to get here. And she said it was probably the most stressful time of her life. So I'm guessing you guys did a lot of communication, good email back. People believed in you. That's why they're willing to wait to get the product.
Chris, answered directly, it's a great funking product. That's
yep. Okay. There you go. What else do you need to say?
It is. And and you know, joking aside, 99% of the people in the world have teeth that eat and drink, and they have nothing that they can use that's on the go in between their morning and evening brushings. And everybody's, as you were just in LA and we were just talking before the show, everybody wants their perfectly white, perfect teeth, and it can be salad, pepper. And once you have this in your pocket or purse, and as that's what, word of mouth spread as well. But you asked how did we, there was no hook. I mean, we did normal email marketing and social media, push out there, but it really is such a unique idea. And, we did offer a discount to wait for the a coupon to wait for the 3 months, but I mean, it kind of just organically, I mean, it still is. It's organically just, growing so much because it's such a useful, it's kind of like we always say it's the Spanx of the oral care and, not to be cheesy selling, but it is an oral care product, but we are, we made a new lane, like Spanx made a new lane, right? It's not pantyhose, it's not a girdle, and everybody knows what Spanx is, right? New product in a needed environment today. And like, I don't leave home without Spanx on, I don't. And so this is not just, a new lane, it's really an intersection between oral care and beauty because of Invisalign, because of the whitening products. So we see it also in Sephora and other places like that. So people, your smile is all, your teeth and your lips and your face, and it's all in one. So I just think people saw a really great need for it and repeat buying and all of that good stuff. But we're also fun too, so maybe they like that as well.
But I also think what you said, you hit something, just even with me being at this red carpet, right, for Disney. So the after party there's food everywhere, right? There's desserts, and they actually had like a specialty of corn, like on a cob.
I'm sorry?
Corn on a cob, like literally with a little stick. I'm thinking, who is eating this at an after party? And there were people eating. So I didn't, like, knowing how I am, I didn't have anything to eat afterwards because I don't want to run into somebody, a movie star that I want to talk to, and have food in my teeth or be picking my teeth. I didn't eat. I had a beverage. I walked around just for that reason. So I can see like something like this is like perfect. Because, there's always people visiting the bathrooms, coming back out. But then there's just this big array of crowd of people. But like chicken had chicken, like again, the same thing. All of this hand food, that like, I'm not going near it.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, there's so many needs for the product. And, but I do want to touch upon, I think Joelle is not giving enough credit, especially to herself. There was a lot of communication, and Joelle actually responded to a lot of it, giving feedback, taking feedback, and responding to customers. There were a lot of emails asking, when's it coming? We're excited. Most of them were really excited and we're anxious, when's it coming? So we did have to field a lot of questions, and thank goodness Joelle was as good as she is at handling those emails. But I also will say, and a lot of them mentioned us, and they like our story, and they really, a lot of them said, we're willing to wait because we want to support you guys. And we talked about this before we went on air, is that, people a lot of people get the plight of an entrepreneur and the plight of building a business. And we're so grateful that all these customers waited to support us.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a lot to do with you as an individual and how you communicate, respond. I think a lot of folks understand that this Shark Tank, it does get a lot of traffic immediately. And if you're not, you're not ready to support all of the inventory, which a lot of entrepreneurs aren't, right? It's a big expense, big cash drain. So the most important thing you can do is be believable and credible and communicate. So I think that's a smart move on your guys' part. There's nothing about either one of you that wouldn't surprise me, honestly. I mean, I've only known you for a short period of time, and I think I go around telling folks, like when I told Recom, Amazon, Firefly, that you guys are sharp individuals, like good business people.
Thank you.
I say that because like not a lot of people can invent and run a business. It's not the same. Inventing is very different than actually being a business owner and running a business. They, in some cases, don't go hand in hand. There's some people who think they are good business folks and finally realize they don't have the cash to drive it, and somewhere they run into a problem. And I don't see that with you, with both of you. I see you guys having a great relationship, very intelligent, very witty, right? Easy to talk to. The whole FunkkOFF thing, I'm not sure it gets much better than that. I mean, it's catchy. Yeah. So it's really cool. You guys done a really great job, honestly. I didn't know you before. I think I saw you live at Shark Tank. Then I saw the follow-up stuff, like what you guys posting, which is all part of that entire brand. You guys become the brand of your product. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I'm so glad that the bribe money paid Chris before coming on to this podcast work for you to say all of those lovely things about us. So that was a good investment on our part, Sonia. I think that was a good $25, I think.
Works every time.
Does it work every
Bucks,
time?
I'm way more expensive than that.
Wait, Chris, you said you only got $5. What is going on here?
Honestly, guys, this to me is a great story.
Oh, thank you.
It just shows truly what entrepreneurship is, American dream. You guys are living it. And I'm gonna see more products, I'm sure, from what you're already doing. It's clear as day. You got the wheels turning. So I'm proud of you guys. I love hearing these stories. And you already know anything I can do to help, I think anything Carmine can do, the UIA can do, we're happy to do it. We'll have you at all our national shows. I think you guys will be a great fit. The group is so much fun to be around, and you guys will be a great addition to it.
Yeah.
We would love it.
Thank you.
Thank you
Really
very
cool.
much.
The one
Thank
thing,
you.
the one thing that I love about it is, Joelle, as you mentioned, people should take on a partner in some way because you can't do it all yourself. Nothing that is good is done alone. But what I love about what you guys have is you really do fill in each gap. Whereas, Sonia's knowledge and experience and what she's done is just really what a product needs. It's huge. And Joelle, you make a great product, but in essence, there's so many great products out there that don't have a Sonia bolted on. It's so cool that you guys are doing this.
Well, I think it's really important
we
that you
are
know
lucky.
what your
We're very
strengths are,
lucky.
right? And what your weaknesses are. You have to complement that. So many people think they can do all of it, and it's just a bad move. Because I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm really good at. And I know the areas that maybe I don't like to do it, that I don't find myself good at it, somebody else is going to do it. You feel that. I used to hire what I call business athletes in corporate America. I wanted someone that is competitive, aggressive, also can work in a team environment, like being on a baseball team or a football team. Everyone has their role. And when you start putting that kind of people together, that group together, you do things you can't even believe. You get people to do things they don't believe they can do. And I think it's such an important attribute that when you have people who work together and can fill each other's roles, it just continues. It'll continue to build. You guys will be around for a long time with a lot of good,
Thank
funky
you.
products.
Thank you. I love it.
Well, it's
Well
funny
said.
I have to really think about it before I say.
But you know what it makes you do when you say funking? And of course, we're good Catholic school girls, so we love to drink and curse. It makes you smile. You can't say funking without smiling. It's the best. And Sonia and I certainly know teamwork. We'll watch us socially, FunkkOFF, 2Ks, 2Fs, follow us everywhere. We did just go back, like we said, to Potomac, Maryland. We went to our grade school, this field we play soccer on, we played lacrosse together. So we know how to be really good teammates. And we do have complementary skills, but we also have the same underlying skill, which is we work really hard. We're very ethical. We find really good partners. We're very loyal. But we also have a lot of fun too. So
It's really, really great. It
fun,
really is
yeah.
a great story. It's a great product. So let's close out by what can I buy these right now?
Well, you can find them on our website, on Amazon, and we
What's the
are
website?
also
What's the
available.
website?
Oh, FUNKKOFF.com. So FunkkOFF, 2Ks, 2Fs.com. And we're also available on Uncommon Goods, Shem Beauty, and about 70 retail establishments across the country. And if you go to our website, you can search up locations and find out where it's available in your area.
And you did mention Amazon, but it might have cut out. We sold out on Amazon Sunday night on the re-airing, but it's coming back. So also on Amazon, we'll be right back up there as well.
Sold out, baby. It's a good product when it's sold out.
It's awesome to hear that you're in
Yeah.
some retail. Is there a retail that you guys are looking to try to get into, or like your one retail you want to get your product into?
I'll let Sonia answer that, but I have to say, back to your point, and then please answer, Sonia. But when you get surprised at you plan all these places where it should be. These are the 70 locations we're in 40 states. Ready? An airport, of course, on the go. Dental offices, orthodontia offices, spas, medical spas, pharmacies. Anywhere there's a counter, or now we are on here. This beautiful counter unit. We have this wonderful wholesale division, and it's nice and tiered. You can pick any color that you want. And we can do other colors in the future as well. But it's such a great counter unit by the register to pick up and go. We're in wine stores. But Sonia, what's our holy grail of where we would like to, maybe top 3, because there's probably 3.
Well, I think Sephora and Ulta are amazing targets for us because of the crossover between oral and beauty care, like Joelle mentioned. I think there are also a number of retailers that are great, including Target, who we may or may not be talking to in different regards. And there may be a home shopping network type place that we may be talking to as well. And what's really fascinating is many of these places have actually reached out to us because of Shark Tank. And so, the show is the Shark Tank effect. I mean, that's part of it. We've actually been contacted by some pretty big opportunities because of Shark Tank. And that's one of the reasons why it surpassed my expectations.
It is amazing the reach that show has. And then you'll have the re-airings that you just received, and you'll start getting the re-airings after the new season starts of CNBC. So it just doesn't end. I mean, it truly does increase the sales output and the reach. And you'll find that there's a buyer that's watching it that says, I need to have that.
It's amazing.
That's what happens. You end up
Exactly.
getting
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing? This Shark Tank family that we're now a part of, has complete. I mean, there's 14 seasons, 14 years, 22 episodes a season. Each episode, 4 or 5 companies, and this huge, beautiful, dysfunctionally fun family has just taken us in, and I feel like we feel at home, and it's just amazing group of people. We're looking forward to Las Vegas in July, but it's just it's an amazing. That's a whole nother added bonus. We never. I'm right. I mean, I'm speaking for both of us, but never even anticipated being part of, and it really is an amazing, amazing community and family. It's a family.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll see now with the United Events Association and all the things we're doing, they all combine. You'll meet even more people outside of the Shark Tank family, people that are connected with Disney and Today's Show and Good Morning America, and licensing companies, big licensing companies. And you'll see all of that, and it'll be, at the end of the day, you'll have this network of new people that you could have. I think Maxwell said it the best. He waited 8 years and met all these people over 8 years that we bring to these national shows at one location. He said, I could have just waited and met everybody at one show. And that's how I feel like we're giving entrepreneurs a chance to be successful more than ever by letting them fit into this network of people that have gone through it. They understand how difficult it is to get a product launched and or licensed, and to skip some of the problems that the pitfalls that everyone has gone through to eliminate it. And it gets them launched to the market faster, and it puts a little extra money back in their pocket that they're not spending in areas that they shouldn't have spent, or they spent it in the wrong areas at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You guys know that.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Right. Great show. You guys are the best. Really, really loved the conversation. I see nothing but great things in the future for both of you. And we are looking forward to having you on all our national shows with the rest of the crew that we bring.
And drinking wine too while we're there. That's the main thing.
100%.
It's really
all right. That's awesome. Very cool. Love the show. Listen, all you listeners out there, thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you go on out, give us a review, a rating. Make sure you subscribe to the Shark Tank Effect. For Joelle, for Sonia, for Christopher Guerrero, I thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time on Shark Tank Effect. You all take care.